Hey guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? Happy Saturday morning, wherever you are. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, here in the Rocky Mountains, Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and another beautiful day on tap for us here. Hope the same is happening for you as well. Guys, I want to talk about your BPR. It's not a medical term. We're going to get into that a little bit, and something that I know most people know what the BPR is, at least coming from me, but there's something that I want to make sure that you're doing with it that you might not be. Before we get into that, let's see. Down below in the description area, there's a link that'll take you over to 98.6 Dave Doherty's high performance men's tennis clothing. And Dave has generously offered us a 15% discount off your first order. So look, I highly recommend you check out 98.6, pick up a pair of shorts, a hat, a shirt or two, give it a go. And I think you'll love this stuff. It's really great stuff. High quality material, reasonably priced, very reasonably priced, in fact. So down below, 98.6, the link is there in the description area. What else? If you haven't yet, the Sievertson 12, if you're on my email list, then you're getting access to it. If you're not on my email list and you want the Sievertson 12 info, just go on over to webtennis.com and drop in a first name email address, and you'll be placed on the email list where you can get the details on how to get access to the Web Tennis members area. It's all free. Right? Email list is free. Members area, lots of parts of it are free. And the Sievertson 12 is free as well. It's on me, no charge. So guys, look, a couple of things. Number one, I just finished reading an article by Craig O'Shaughnessy, Brain Game Tennis, and he was kind of breaking down the numbers on yesterday's match with Novak and Rafa. And one of the things that he kind of broke it up, not only the stats, the numbers in terms of, who was winning the 0 to 4 category, who was winning the 5 to 8 category, and then the A+ categories. But one of the things that he mentioned was that Novak, he's down love 5 in the first. Just about to get blown out, right? Nothing's going right. Rafa can't miss. Novak can't make standard shots. And yet what happens is he hangs in there and wins 3 games, right? And so I think when you're down like that, the tendency is you're down 5-1, 5 love. The tendency is to kind of panic and go, what have I got to do? I got to do something different. I don't want to lose the first set 6-0. And so I think that the important thing there is you keep fighting, right? You keep working, you keep trusting that, look, maybe your opponent's having a super hot, white hot streak for the first 5 games. And the last thing you want to do is let them continue to roll that into the second set. And so what you got to do is you got to continue to fight and just trust that it's a streak, right? They're not going to keep playing at this level. If it's 5 love for the next 7 games, we're going to get blown out love and love, right? So you keep fighting, you keep working, you keep trusting, you keep believing that, you've got to make this guy work. And so I think that was a big deal in yesterday's match, that Novak continued to work in that first set and, did not win the first set, but won 3 games. And I think that settled everything down where, for him, it was 3 out of 5 sets, right? So anyway, I think that's an important deal for you guys to remember. Second thing is the BPR. And the BPR is the between points routine. And before you go, oh, yeah, well, I know I got to be doing something between points, which is, I know it's 80% of the match. 80% of the time I'm on the court during a match. I'm not playing tennis. I'm not playing points. It's between points, right? It's on side changes, right? So literally 20% on average is the only time you're on the court in a match where we're actually playing points. So You guys have heard me forever ad nauseum talk about the need for you to develop a between points routine. And the reason for that is that between points is the biggest opportunity for our brain, for that conscious brain, to kind of take over and just start thinking of all of these outcomes and results. And God dang it, I'm pissed off because that car over there, the idiot is letting their car horn just go off, for the next, I don't know how, it's been going for a minute or so. Or the idiot on the other side over here is just screaming and yelling during their match. And there's so many opportunities consciously, especially if you're in a close match, to get distracted. And that distraction can easily become an excuse to build a story that if you lose the match, that you now have got this story built up, that you are building up between points as the match is going along. And I just found that in the beginning, when I started playing tournaments, that 80% of the match spent between points and on side changes, I had no idea what to do. I was just all over the map. And a lot of it was because how I had just responded to the end of that last point. And for me, it was, look, I was just getting started playing tournaments, wasn't very good, losing a lot. And so I was getting pretty ticked, right? I mean, I'd get pissed and this and that. And the next thing you know is that then for the rest of that 20 or 25 seconds to the start of the next point, I'm just sitting there stewing, right, about what just happened. And so two things I want you to really embrace here. Number one is you've got to manage that 80% of the time between points that happens in the match. Number one, you just have to do it. And if you don't, you're kidding yourself in terms of being able to compete at the highest level, at least at your current skill level, at your current highest skill level. And that means, I mean, what's the ideal way to have a between points routine? Well, for me, it's 4 parts, right? Number one is immediately as the point's over, I want to do something that keeps me on an emotional even keel. If I just hit the greatest running forehand up the line and that one person in the stands went, whoa, I don't want to go, come on, baby, and scream and yell and all that kind of stuff, because emotionally does 2 bad things. Number one, it drains energy. But number 2 is it tells my brain, I mean, that's what we got to do every time now, right? But on the other side of the coin is if I chunk an open volley, there's no one on the court, the guy's falling down in the other court because of the out wide shot I just played, and you miss, you could go crazy, right? I used to go crazy. And then I'd go from, going up to going down. And for me, that really, it just saps your energy. Physically, it takes energy away. So for me, the first thing out of my 4-part between points routine is I want to do something that keeps me on an emotional even keel, no matter what just happened. And for me, this is going to sound goofy. I know other people go, well, I don't get it. But for me, I just start humming a song, right? Or singing a song to myself. And for me, that just keeps me even at the end of the point. Now, do I do that for the entire 25 seconds? No. But I do that for maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds so that I stay calm and I don't go up or down as a response to what just happened at the end of the point. The second thing I do is I take 3 or 4 deep breaths from my ab, right? Where it's almost like a meditation type of thing. I want to I want to stay in the present. The singing to myself got me into the present, right? And then the 3 or 4 deep breaths keeps me in the present, where I'm really thinking about, as we do when we meditate, right? And I want to feel that. Number one, I want to feel that I'm staying in the present. But number 2, I may need to physically recover from the end of that last point. Now, look, if the guy just double faulted to me and I had no physical exertion in that point, I'm still going to do the 3 or 4 deep breaths because I want to stay into a routine during that between points time. The third thing is I'm going to start thinking strategically. Okay, if I'm serving, how do I want to start this next point? I'm not thinking result, right? I'm not thinking, well, gosh darn it, it's 30-40. I got to hold serve here because it's 5-0 in the first. And if I don't hold serve, then he's serving at 6-5. And oh my God. And the next thing you know is we're getting tighter than a drum. So my thing is, I think, is, okay, how do I want to serve, or how do I want to start this point if I'm serving? And for me, it's a couple of choices. Number one is it's direction. Do I want to go T? Do I want to go body? Or do I want to go out wide? And we've been talking recently about each three of those directions is simply a spot above the top of the net, as opposed to, thinking, well, I got to keep the ball inside the service line over there because I'm looking for a target that's a spot on the court over there. Hey, Rich. Yeah. So, or I might be thinking spin. How much spin do I want to actually, maybe on this first serve, I want to go second serve first, right? So I'm thinking, how do I want to start the point? If I'm returning serve, I'm really more just kind of thinking, where are we in the match right now? What's my opponent been doing up to this point? And maybe just a reminder of, hey, most of the time he's been going here. Let's be looking for it. But you don't have control, obviously, when you return and serve, where that server is going to go. So you can't completely go, well, here's how I'm going to start the return. Now, look, if the guy's been serving and volleying, okay, well, unless I get a little fat sitter that maybe I can go cross court or up the line, stretch them out, doesn't mean I'm going to go cross court or up the line and hit a winner. No, I'm going to go cross court or up the line and stretch them out and assume somebody's coming back. But maybe on the serve and volley, I'm just going to think, I'm just assuming he's coming in again. I'm going to play it down low and make him hit up, right? So, or maybe if the guy serves and stays back, then I'm just going to play it right back up the middle, right? I'm not going to flirt with the sidelines. I'm just going right back up the middle, and we'll start the point from there. And then the fourth thing for me is a positive little self pump. It's just going to be like, okay, baby, here we go. And it's not like hey, come on, don't screw this up. You got to win this point. No, you can't put that pressure on yourself, right? There's too many things going on in the game of tennis that are out of your control. So for me, it's way more about a little positive self pump, just kind of like excitement, right? But not nerves, not tension, not anything result oriented. It's just all right, here we go. And so, look, that all sounds good and great, right? And for me, when I've disciplined myself during a match to do that 4-part between points routine every time, and I don't mean occasionally, oh boy, it's a big point, it's 30 all, I got to hold serve here, and I better do my between points routine. No, I do it every time. And I've had my best results in terms of, beating guys who I'm not going to beat 10 out of 10 times, maybe not even beat 5 out of 10 times. But when I've had those wins, it's because I've really stuck to my own unique, you got to develop your own, my own unique between points routine. And so, look, here's the key is this is not like a light switch where all of a sudden you go, okay, well, right now I'm going to do it. You need to practice this thing like a monster. You need to find practice situations, whether you're playing points, whether you're playing practice sets or practice matches, or maybe you're kind of doing a drill situation where there's naturally in that drill situation a little break. It could be for 15 seconds, right, where you guys pick up balls. It could be for 25 seconds as you guys pick up balls until you start the next, the next part of the drill. But you need to practice this thing so it feels comfortable. It feels natural. It doesn't feel like you're manufacturing it. And I do it on the court and I do it off the court as well. I do a lot of visualization off the court where I'm just sitting there and, maybe I'm watching the tennis channel and the next thing you know is it's a commercial. Well, I'll hit the mute button, shut my eyes because the ad's going to be 60 seconds? Perfect. Why not just shut your eyes during that time, hit the mute button, and then just visualize in your head a point that you're playing, and visualize scores 40-30, right? And now what's happened is you've just won the point and you're giving the balls back to, what do you want to do between those 2 points? Well, you want to practice what is your between points routine. And if you don't practice this, I'm telling you, when you get in a match, it's just going to feel awkward. It's not going to feel normal, not going to feel natural. So you got to practice it on the court during practice times, and you got to practice it off the court as well. And so the question today is, how often, or when was the last time you actually practiced your between points routine? And I'd love to know. I mean, you can go ahead and load it up in the comments area. You can direct message me at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. If you don't have a between points routine, you're not allowing yourself to bring out your best tennis, because you can't manufacture stroke technique once you get into the match, right? I mean, this is something that I've struggled with as a teaching pro forever. My excuse has been, well, you know, I'm teaching so much, I'm looking at technique, I'm trying to help players with technique, that when I get into my own matches, I'm thinking about technique. Dumb, right? That doesn't work. For me, the between points routine cleans the slate from the last point and gets me set up to be able to play the next point with as much clarity as possible, and trusting that the training that I've done, right? The training that I've done, and yeah, part of the training is working out maybe a little technique tweak here and there, but at some point in the training, I've also stopped thinking about that consciously and seeing if, can I trust that training is now into my subconscious and I can just play and let it go. And I think we all would agree that if you, that when you play your best, the term playing out of your mind, the guy played out of his head, whatever, is true. You're right. He really just trusted the subconscious, and just all the only thinking going on, the only decision making going on is shot choice and where do I want to move to next, right? What's the right shot? And if you're thinking too much about technique, about how to hit this forehand, you're trying to manufacture a forehand over there, you're trying to manufacture a slice backhand during a point, it's not going to work. I mean, you're going to hit some, sure, but in the end, you're not going to play instinctively. You're not going to play with freedom, right? The best way to put yourself into that mindset when where you do trust that you can do the Tim Galway, right? The inner game of tennis is to have a between points routine. If you want some help with yours, shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com, and I'll see what I can do. So guys, that's it for me today. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm going down to Basalt, Colorado, which is very, very close to Aspen, about 2.5 hour drive here from Steamboat. I'm going to get in the court today with Borja Malo. Borja is the pro in the desert at the El Dorado Country Club, but he goes to Basalt, to the Roaring Fork Club in the summertime. Guy, Spanish dude, played in the tour. Great guy, just a great guy. Loves the game of tennis, loves people, loves life. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting in the court with him and having him take a quick sneak peek at me and my game, see if there's any little thing that he might have a suggestion for. And I'm looking forward to that today. What else? I guess that's it. I guess that is it. So guys, with that said, it's time for two things. Number one, down below in the comments area, let me know what's going on with today's topic. Anything else that's on your mind with your game, I'd love to read, and I promise to respond. You can also shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And as always, it's time right now. We all have to get out there. It's our duty. It's our duty. We got to get out there and help another human being have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again next time.